dropped off by the transport, just came from LA. So we get to detail and restore Ed Bolian's new baby. This Mercedes SLR was built by Mercedes and co-developed by McLaren. This isn't any ordinary McLaren SLR, it's Paris Hilton's old baby. You know, the infamous one, the night that Paris and Brittany went out and had a good time partying. You know the one I'm talking about, right?
Guys, don't be perverts.
Now it's time to assess the car's damage, come up with a plan of action, and let's get to work. Now here's the deal. Ed Bolian's giving me a strict timeline. I've only got a few days to do about 100 hours of work, so we've got to make this happen because the car is being shipped back to Atlanta, Georgia. If you ever wonder what goes behind closed doors at a premier motorsport and detail facility, this is your opportunity to see why details matter.
So the guys in the studio finally had a chance to take a look at Ed Bolian's Mercedes SLR McLaren. It's nothing that we can't handle, but it is pretty rough.
We take a look at the car under our focus lighting that we have here in the studio. Once we looked at the vehicle, we identified some serious paint issues, some scratches. We knew how to treat the paint. We identified the scratches and the imperfections. We came up with a plan of action. It's got bad PPF on the front. On the nose here, somebody put partial, which I don't know why they would do that, but we're going to remove that. It's got a lot of glue that's going to have to come off, so Alex, you need to be careful because this is carbon fiber, and urethane over carbon fiber can be a little bit challenging. If you take it off wrong, you can damage the urethane. Now this has a carbon fiber body and it's painted, and carbon fiber doesn't look as perfect as other finishes or metals or porous or non-porous finishes.
Rich, I was noticing earlier too, you were talking about the wheels do have damage on them, so I will get with Cody, that way he can schedule to get that all fixed and taken care of. We will take the wheels off, also the PPF also got to come off, and we do have to spot sand the trunk, if that's all right.
And some of the area had to be color sanded, some had to be cut and polished, but the bottom line is that my team was confident that we could produce a finish that looked better than coming out of the German factory where this car was built. And this car obviously wasn't super bad for being a 2008, but it wasn't pristine either. And we wanted to make sure that we maintained the integrity of the paint. So we used a lot of our gloss paint correction polishes, our Evo 21, 15, and our micro polishers to meticulously go through a cutting stage, a finished cut stage, an ultra finish stage, and then a ceramic coating. So this was a process, and this is why it took so many hours, because when you're working on a car like this, you gotta take a lot of precautions. You gotta measure the paint, you gotta mask off door edges, seams, and moldings, because you don't wanna damage other parts of the vehicle. Hey Cody, we got an issue. So the battery in the SLR, the car's not starting. The guys can't get it started. And we're gonna have to figure out how to get this jump started. I popped the trunk. Okay. There's a big fat sticker that says do not jump start.
So we finished up inspecting the vehicle. Unfortunately, when the guys opened the door, they realized the battery was dead. Like, dead.
So I just talked to Ed on the phone. He said just do whatever you can to get it fixed because we can't put it back on transport. Did Ed Bolian send us a broken car? This car can't be jump started. In fact, Mercedes tells you that if you try to jump start it, you fry the whole system. And who wants to fry a system on a $300,000 or $400,000 supercar? Here's the bad news. You gotta stay late tonight, bro, because I gotta get this on transport by like 1 o'clock in the morning, and the transport guy says if we don't get it on, the car's not leaving, and Ed's like made it really clear, this car has to leave tonight.
This is a bad situation, mainly because transport's gonna be here at midnight, and we don't know if we'll be able to deliver it.
Hey Rich, what's going on?
We called Ed up on the phone and we discussed, said, listen man, this is gonna be cutting it really tight.
So if y'all can handle as much as you can, I understand that you won't get everything, but whatever you can, as long as it's on the truck, I'm a happy guy.
It was really important that we execute this car in a certain time frame, and there were very strict guidelines that we had to work with in order to get this executed. It was a production. It was kind of a nightmare to find the batteries. They were tucked behind carbon fiber with like 50 different bolts, but we figured it out and we were able to save it and get the car started. Hey Cody, I I need to know, the transport's gonna be coming to pick up the car tonight, so I'm gonna have to come in here. This car has to go on transport. I need to know it's ready.
Yeah. Yeah, we're ready. Let's do it. The guys are making really good time. They're kicking ass. The car's looking amazing. Now it's time for Rich to go out and just double check everything.
Inspection is super key because if there's not good communication and there's not a plan of action and people don't know how to lead going into the job, it can cause a lot of problems. And with this kind of deadline, we didn't have the time to screw up. I mean, this was tight. You boys ready? It's showtime.